Everybody get up, it's the party song. Everybody get up, it's a party song.
GMS.
Gaming Morning Show.
Things put on pancakes and rhyming bear intros. Austin confused about whose sister married the bros. In the UK, dooley-doo tugs on our heartstrings. Gaming Morning Show is one of our favorite things.
It's Paul. It's Paul.
Ah, who are we kidding?
Pumpkin spice and fall. Paul.
We all know our favorite thing is the season of Paul. Pumpkin spice latte time! Besides the tasty drinks, the weather is cooler.
We get the most time where it's cooled off, but it's not always rainy. Sometimes it's rainy for part of the day, but then it dries up and it's just a nice, cool, cloudy day. I like that.
There's football on.
Man, did we have a great football weekend. Both of our teams performed to the tippy top of their tippiest top of performance, and boy, football is fun.
That's gotta be enough for all of the hosts of Gaming Morning Show, right? Right?
Okay, so when Club Penguin changed, they changed everything, they got more mainstream, and I wrote them an email. And I was like, it would be really nice if you guys could go back to the way things were, because the original Penguins, we really miss it. I speak on behalf of all of the OG Penguins, and we all are really upset. Brent, you've changed, man.
You're the Lorax for Club Penguin.
I was. I speak for the Penguins.
Well, Penguin, begins with a P. So, happy Paul, everyone, from all of us at GMS. Broadcasting live from Redner's Rescued Cat Figurine Museum in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin.
When Sean Redner told his wife, Hillary, that he wanted to turn their Wisconsin home into a museum of cat figurines, she had a predictable response. We're gonna do what?
We'll do that some other time, huh? Okay then. Broadcasting live from the same places they've been since 2020. It's time for Gaming Morning Show.
Morning, gamer. Welcome in. It's Gaming Morning Show. We're ready to go for Monday, October 17th, 2022. We're so glad you could be along with us wherever you may be on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. It is the Monday edition, and that is Sports.Gaming on the left side of your screen. I'm Hefty Goof. It's great to see y'all. Thank you for hanging out this morning and being along for the ride. We are going to welcome in Philipp to talk about Whateverland. That was our name of the month for the month of September. That'll happen today at 7:25 a.m. Pacific time. Coming up at 7:50. Woohoo! What a sports weekend. Sports! It's going to happen at 7:50. They have that, and that's not even just the second hour. There's a first hour of the show. That's the hour that we're currently in that we can tell you about too. But I mean, you're here for the 7 o'clock hour. I promise.
Are we even gonna do the first hour?
We're just gonna coast. We're gonna do like literally the bare minimum.
Literally.
Literally. It's gonna be hilarious. This is it. This is what it's gonna look like. We're good. It's gonna sound like this. It's gonna look like this. We're just basically gonna look whimsically into each other's eyes. Okay. I really gotta get myself. Oh, no! That's not whim. I don't think you know what whimsically means. I don't know. No, whims. It's almost like there's an alternate Sean.
Good time.
It'd work a lot better if that part didn't happen.
I don't know. I think people like this part too.
Other than that, it's flawless. I mean, perfect. It just like evaporates. It's great. Seriously, thank you for being here. We will fine. We'll do some video game headlines coming up in about 10 minutes from now. Birthdays this day in gaming history coming up at 6:50 today. I am JF Downs in chat this morning. It's great to see you, Downs. Thank you.
First,
Said I can't wait for the sports section. Need to know the Birds result. Wait. So Downs, your favorite NFL team, the Philadelphia Birds. They played football last night, and you are now saying, I've not been able to go to Twitter. I need the scores. So have you not watched the game? Do you not know what happened last night between the Birds and the Cowboys? Interesting. Interesting indeed. Element of one, I'm here to support Sean. What a game last night. Are those things the same or separate?
I'm assuming he means Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
2 nights ago.
Yeah. I did that thing where I needed to message Sean because I'd forgot to message Sean earlier in the day, and then I happened to hear what happened with Sean's football team. I was like, now I feel like, but I don't think Sean necessarily has the same rules in life that I do either. Does it bug you to get a message after a tough loss?
No, I mean, when you got a message, you got a message.
Okay.
It was a frustrating night though, and I won't be here for sports, so I'll give my little spiel now. It was earmarked at the beginning of the season as like, well, this is the guaranteed loss, playing what is looking like the best team in the Pac-12 at Utah, which is a tough place to play. They've now won 24 out of 26, I believe. It's just a tough place to play. So that was almost like the guaranteed loss. And then the season hadn't been going the way it was expected. We were playing above what people were expecting us to be. Utah's playing a little bit below what they were expected to be, and we go into it with them being a 3.5 point favorite instead of, a double-digit favorite. And the loss was frustrating, but livable because it was a heck of a game. Like, a really good game, and they played ridiculously well. They were, of course, wearing memorial helmets for two of their players that they've lost over the last couple years. They did a special thing in between third and fourth quarters that was really powerful. So they deserved to win that game. What was really frustrating is how obvious or how present the officiating was. And as you know, as a sports fan, it's frustrating when you're that aware of the officiating. There were a lot of really bad calls, some of them on both sides of the ball, but there were a couple calls that really killed opportunities for USC. And it was really frustrating to be able to look at specific instances and be like, well, what if the refs didn't get that wrong? That would have been a totally different game. So that was really frustrating, but that's the Pac-12.
7:50. We'll break it down. There's the monologue that you needed to know, because like Sean said, he's not going to be here for sports. So that is the recap of Saturday night. I'm sorry, buddy.
That's all right.
It's all right. We'll all feel it tonight. Broncos Chargers. Can't wait to. Actually, I could wait. To be honest, I could wait for our team to get back on the field. Like if there could be like a magical football godmother, fairy godmother who like could go, don't worry, Ryan, they're not gonna be as bad as they've been. I've made sure of it. Yikes. Element of One is here as well. Drew Mega is here. Good morning. Nice to see you both.
Nice chat.
It's good to see you. Yes, Downs is waiting for Gaming Morning Show to tell you. Okay, fine. Coming up at 7:50, we reveal to Downs whether or not the Birds won yesterday. So that's coming up. Let me get you some of the other stuff that we have to get to. It's Black Poetry Day, National Edge Day, National Mulligan Day, National Pasta Day, National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day, which is becoming one of my favorite days of the day because it's like, oh, why do you put virtual? Oh, yeah, because literally this is a desktop. You're talking about the one on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So don't clean this one, which I definitely do all the time. But clean the one on the computer.
Mine's pretty clean right now. I just have these, let's see, most things are put away in their folders the way they're supposed to be. I just have these two images with transparent backgrounds of Kissy Missy and Huggy Wuggy that I ended up never using last week. So maybe I should use those.
No, I think no one's clamoring for those. I think I speak for the audience when it's like, nah, we don't need those.
Who knows?
Good thing we'll never see him. Patient plays the saxophone while undergoing brain surgery. We'll tell you about that story coming up later this hour. And then next hour, a Star Wars-inspired pan solo goes viral. So we'll have that coming up from a bakery, I think it was in California. That'll be next hour. Our topic of the day has to do with bosses. Today is National Bosses Day. So we're asking, what makes an ideal boss for you? Okay. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the same for everybody, but for you. What is a quality that you would like to have in a boss on National Bosses Day? Because I can understand that not everybody has bosses that they fully enjoy. Okay. For me, I always enjoyed bosses who really like dipped into my desire to like go after things that maybe weren't in the job description. Right? Like it's like I like what you wrote here. I like what we're doing, and I feel like most of that stuff's going well. But could we also go in this direction? Please. I like those bosses.
Nice. I always liked bosses that you can actually talk to like a real person. Because I've had a few bosses that like feel like they're just playing a role. You know, like the theatrics of being a boss and being an employee is like what they're there for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was always really obnoxious.
It's like they're a character.
Yeah. I can do without that.
Did you work for Michael Scott from The Office?
A little bit.
Downs was talking football smack this morning. Started to talk about the Steelers. Downs, the Steelers. Oh wait, you have that right below that. Element of one informed you the Steelers beat Tom Brady yesterday. Shame the Steelers don't get. Are you talking Steelers smack because the Birds and the Steelers are in the same state? Is that where that's coming from? Interesting. I actually think Downs doing American football smack talk would be also an incredibly interesting thing to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd watch that.
There's a lot of Downs interesting things. You know, Downs is becoming probably the most interesting person on the internet.
We give Downs lots of homework.
We sure do. Downs didn't expect to get as much, if not more, than Calaf, our head of research and development, gets. We'll start calling Downs the king of homework. What a fun title. Drew Mega wants to bring up the Guardians getting a bit too cocky and having it shoot them in the foot. I didn't watch yesterday, but I did see that someone hit a home run and started. They had a excessive home run celebration, almost like if you could penalize a baseball player 15 yards. I wonder if they could figure that out. Like, could you send them to third?
I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, well, actually,
they have to run an extra base. They have to go first, second, third, home, and then back to first, and that's where you score the run.
So the next person's batting, but the person for the prior at bat with the home run standing right next to them, having to get to first simultaneously to them.
Yeah, something like that.
So that way, if it's like a bloop grounder to second or something like that, slow roller, then they're both out.
Or you know, it was after the play, so it'd be enforced on the next batter.
So the next batter has to run from the batter's box, touch first base, go back to home plate, and then get back to first base.
Or the play, which would traditionally be at first, is now at second. So, you know, they try to get a base hit, and the force is at second to get them out. So they have to run the first to second to get on.
I kind of like the idea of almost like a, oh gosh, what were those things called? We used to have to run in basketball, where we'd have to run from the baseline to the free throw line, back to the baseline, back to home half court. It was back and forth.
We called them lines.
Okay, yeah. So,
but I there might be other terms for them.
Well, listen, I'm from Montana. We call the glove compartment a jockey box. So, yeah, there probably was. Although I had a friend, Hofbrew, send me a picture. Apparently, the jockey box used to be the thing on the back of like a horse-drawn carriage where you'd store all your stuff. And if that's true, at least the name makes sense now.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense for sure.
I had never understood where it came from. So the glove compartment, you know, that sits in front of the passenger seat where you are supposed to keep your gloves, but really you just keep your manual and maybe your insurance card and 38 napkins.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe some extra napkins from the last time you went to Taco Bell.
Why do you always get so many Taco Bell napkins? I don't know. It always seems to be the place. Oh, that's going to go in. Look at that.
Ace shot.
That's not what I meant to do, but that works. Yeah, so that's where the jockey box came from. Oh, here we go, Sean. The new segment we called 4 Downs.
Nice.
Downs talking about American football.
I love it.
That's really good.
Or to make it more confusing, we can call it the 5th Downs.
First downs, second downs, third downs. It was Josh Naylor, Canadian of all things, that did the rocking the baby motion while running the bases. Apparently he hit a home run. Oh, yeah. So apparently that batter, when hitting a home run, starts to call the pitcher their son. And that's where the premise of rocking the baby comes from.
Huh.
Have you ever hit a home run in any sort of like sanctioned diamond sports event? Whether it was like league softball or anything?
Yeah. Hey, the last home run I hit was in a men's league soccer game, or a softball game. Yeah, I had friends, neighbors that played in a men's league, and they were like, "Hey, we're short a guy tomorrow. Can you play?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll play." And then, like, my first at bat, I launched a home run. I was like, "Don't get used to that. That's not my norm."
I've never seen that before in my life.
I'm like base hit double guy, not home run guy.
The closest I ever came was when I was playing in Little League. Last half of my last year, I was learning how to actually play baseball. It was really exciting. And I hit it on top of the fence, and it bounced in as opposed to out.
So close.
So sad. But that was the same game. I had actually somewhat practiced pitching over the summer. We had like a 21-2 lead or something like that. I asked my coach, "Hey, I've been really trying to pitch. Could I go out there and pitch?" Never had done it before. My pitching line, no outs, 7 walks, 11 runs allowed. We won that game like 22 to like 14. I may hold the record for my hometown's Little League's highest ERA, to be honest. 620.
Do you think they keep that stat?
No, they don't. I might as well. I should bring a plaque next time I go home, and just put it like on the side of the baseball stadium. Why do they only have one record on display, and it's about the highest ERA? It doesn't make any sense. It's 6:26 West Coast time. It's 9:26 out east. It's 2:26 now for those watching GMS in the UK. Get ready. We're going to talk about Whateverland in about an hour from now, but right now it's time to get informed of the video game headlines of the day. And as always, for that, here's hashtag video game expert Sean.
Good morning. It is Monday, October 17th, 2022, and this is your Gaming Morning Show, Morning Gaming News. G4's Revival is getting shut down. Less than a year after it relaunched, G4 is being shut down yet again. This is from Adam Bankhurst of IGN. Comcast has decided to pull plug on the network behind such series such as X-Play, Attack of the Show, and more. This was originally reported by Deadline. Comcast's Spectre chairman and CEO Dave Scott penned a letter to all employees saying G4 is being discontinued immediately. He says, quote, "Team, as you know, G4 was reintroduced last year to tap into the popularity of gaming. We invested to create the new G4 as an online and TV destination for fans to be entertained, be inspired, and be connected with gaming content. Over the last several months, we worked hard to generate that interest in G4, but viewership is low and the network has not achieved sustainable financial results. This is certainly not what we hoped for, and as a result, we have made the difficult decision to discontinue G4's operations effective immediately. I know this is disappointing news. I am disappointed too. I want to talk to you and everyone on the G4 team for thank you, and everyone for the on the G4 team for the hard work and commitment to the network." Bummer. Yeah, this was officially relaunched back in November of last year after being off the air for quite a long time, and it didn't work. It's too bad.
I mean, this is the difficult part because it's definitely not a financial success, and of course, it's like what you need to have in order to sustain a deal. But I never watched it, so I have really no way to like contextualize why it didn't work necessarily. But Element said, damn, I remember that one show. And I kind of feel like that's my experience with G4 as well. Is like, I know that it was on. I know that many people watched certain things, and then there was like that one show that people would tune in for. I think what surprised me the most when I saw the news yesterday was it's not far removed from when they had a round of layoffs. And so I'm surprised that it went so quickly from layoffs to being shut down. And I think that there definitely should be a place on traditional television for video games content. And this relaunch of G4 kind of confused me because I thought it was that, but it was also very heavy in streaming platforms too. So I guess I don't follow necessarily what they were trying to do, but I don't have any area like of knowledge with this, so I'm just not a good reference point. So.
Yeah, and the relaunch was definitely interesting because they had gotten some of the like original team back together, if I'm remembering correctly, before the official relaunch on like streaming platforms, and then it was officially relaunched as G4 with an actual like on-air channel. And I had seen some of the YouTube content, especially because they hired Gerard the Completionist, who I've enjoyed for a long time, and he was starting to do more content for G4, at least online. I'm assuming some of that was mirrored on the actual channel, but I wasn't there. And so seeing a lot of new content on the YouTube side of things was actually pretty cool, and they were doing some pretty neat things. And so I wonder if this is also a situation where there might have been growth in ways that Comcast just doesn't understand, and the channel wasn't doing what it needed to. But I don't know, that we see a lot of instances of old entertainment, new entertainment not meshing well, and that might be another situation like this. Also, it doesn't seem like they did a good job of actually communicating with those that were hired to work for G4, because Gerard, the Completionist, retweeted someone else tweeting about this letter, and he goes, "Hey, this tweet is how I found out how I lost my job." Neat. So they definitely missed the mark there.
Well, listen, I mean, that seemed to happen more often than I would have ever imagined, right? It's like, oh yeah, this is how I found out. And I don't know. I don't know why that is, but this a good topic for National Bosses Day, to be honest.
Quality of a good boss. Don't do that. So we'll miss G4. A lot of the people involved in that, I think, are well versed in making content for YouTube and other streaming platforms. So if you enjoy any of them, go out and find the work they're doing and support them when you can. In our next news story, Silent Hill transmission has been announced for this week with, quote, the latest updates on the Silent Hill series. This, again, is from Adam Bankhurst of IGN. Konami has launched a new Silent Hill website with a date fans of the horror franchise will want to mark their calendars for. And that is October 19th, 2022. That is on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern, and 10 p.m. BST. The website was announced alongside a tweet that says, "In your restless dreams, do you see that town?" The latest updates for the Silent Hill series will be revealed during the hashtag Silent Hill transmission on Wednesday, October 19th. So I guess we'll have to pay attention to this. It's 'cause Silent Hill's spooky, and maybe we'll have to play that someday for GMS Fudge.
I have on my side, Sean, this is not live, this is an audio quote from the Hill itself. It was silent.
That was really silent, that hill. So we'll pay attention to this. I was never a huge Silent Hill fan, but I'll watch it anyway because now that's my job.
You know why you're more excited about this for anything is exactly what you just said, which is because this might scare the crap out of Ryan someday, and that's fun.
That's true. It's true. I like that's what I'm most excited about with Dead Space remake, is that was also a spooky game that I never played, and they remade it, and so now we get to experience it together. So if they announce some sort of like Silent Hill soft reboot or remake, how perfect would that be?
Yay.
So good. In our last news story, a rare unlaunching Which I don't know if this is a word that Anna Diaz of Polygon came up with, or is this something NVIDIA actually said. But NVIDIA is, quote, unlaunching the cheaper RTX 4080, admitting its name was confusing. NVIDIA announced technically three new GPAs late September. The RTX 4090, the RTX 4080. The later would be available in two versions, a model with 16 gigs of video memory and one with 12 gigs of video memory. Based on that, you might think the RAM would be the only difference between the two RTX 4080 variants. However, that was not the case. The GPUs were to feature considerably different specifications. The 16 gigabyte model has 9,728 CUDA cores, which is 26% more than the 12 gigabyte card's 7,680 cores. And both models used the GDDR6 X memory. The RAM in the 12 gigabyte variant was slower with lower memory bandwidth. So, in summary, they tried to make it seem like a slight step down, but it was in fact quite a big step down. And a lot of people spoke out about it. And so NVIDIA, listening to that advice, says, quote, having two GPUs with 4080 designation is confusing. They decided to not release the lower model of the 4080.
Okay. That's a lot. Wow. There's a lot of numbers and a lot of things and specs in there, but if you're looking for an RTX 4080, apparently it's now thus been unlaunched. So.
Yeah, now there's only one version, and there's the faster version.
Oh, so it's still launched, but part of it's been unlaunched.
The 4080 minus has been unlaunched. But since production hasn't started yet, doesn't mean they have to permanently shelve the 12 gigabyte card. They could just rename it something that's more clear and launch it. But as of now, we're only getting the 4080 with the 16 gigs, and then the 4090. And they'll all be ridiculously expensive. That's the way it is. And always last but not least, we finish off today's Gaming Morning Show morning gaming news with the world-renowned segment within a segment where we take a look at what is out today, like The Great Ocean, which is out on PC. And for the most prestigious award in video game focused morning shows, your favorite segment within a segment within a segment, today's name of the morning goes to Potionomics.
Wait, stretch it.
Potionomics.
Okay, perfect. I found the thumbnail.
Out on PC.
All right. Sorry, I was working on something else, banking on you having a little bit of a list, and I didn't look ahead, and so. Potionomics, huh?
Potionomics and The Great Ocean.
At least that's a
two more than the zero we had last time.
Well, and at least Potionomics is actually a pretty good name. So
yeah, I like that name.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, congratulations, Potionomics. You are our name of the morning, could become the October name of the month, and if you do, well, I got some good news. You will be won by one of our Patreon subscribers in an exclusive Patreon name of the month contest. In fact, Quiet I Am Gaming was the winner of Whateverland, whose creator we'll talk to next hour. Our September name of the month was Whateverland. So let's say Potionomics wins, and then you are a Patreon subscriber. You could win it too, the same month that we name it name of the month, and then we'll give a batched group of video games away, probably in January of 2023, and that'll be to everybody who wants to participate. If you'd like to sign up for our Patreon, you can. The new subscriber tier is available now. It includes an exclusive subscriber show. There's name of the month giveaways, as I mentioned, and early access to most things we make, and more. Find out more at patreon.com/gaming morning show, and please go to twitch.tv/sports.gaming and follow, well, sports.gaming as soon as you can, because sports.gaming is going to be on the affiliate grind so that we can get GMS emotes to give away as part of our subscriber tier as well. Thank you to the nearly 30 of you who have subscribed to our Patreon, and find out more at patreon.com/gaming morning show. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Let's call on to Bear Bear and see how Bear Bear's weekend was. You never really know, because Bear Bear is very unique. And so you never know what he's up to on a weekend. He might be jet setting out to California, maybe hanging out underneath a Colorado deck. You just never know what Bear Bear's up to. But what we do know is reliably, every single show, Bear Bear's outside that window. Let's see what the case is today. There was no rhyme. That's just me talking.
Bear Bear's there.
It's 6:39. Let's find out what we're tracking.
You can news if you wanna.
At this hour on this morning radio show that plays games. Thank you for being here. Good morning to Dungeon Meowster KJ. It is good to see you. Nice chat on this Monday. Patient who is getting some surgery. This one's I need to know some information from you as we read through this story, please. This patient ended up playing the saxophone. No confirmation as to whether or not Careless Whisper was, played on the saxophone. But the doctors in Italy shared details of recent delicate brain surgery during which the patient remained awake and playing the saxophone. This hospital in Rome said in a news release that a 35-year-old patient was kept awake and playing his saxophone during a 9-hour surgery to remove a tumor from his brain. The doctor said the musical performance allowed the surgeons to map the different functions of his brain as they operated. Quote, awake surgery. This is not part of the quote. This is Hefty Goof speaking, which I did not know was a thing for the brain. Back to the quote. Makes it possible to map with extreme precision during surgery the neuronal networks that underlie the various brain functions such as playing, speaking, moving, remembering, and counting. The person who led the surgery team said in the release, quote, the goal of awake surgery, hi, it's Hefty again, it did not know was a thing when it involved your brain, back to the quote, is to remove a brain tumor or a vascular malformation such as cavernomas located in specific areas of the brain while preserving the patient's quality of life. Sean, awake surgery? What?
Yeah. It's it's actually used. I'm gonna say quite a bit, but percentage-wise, it's probably not quite a bit. But like the times you hear about it are for situations like this where they keep the patient awake so they can have them perform some function, so they can watch what areas of the brain light up and are used while performing that function, so they can try to preserve those as much as possible. So it's an example of this type of surgery that is usually the most interesting to like look at and talk about. But yeah, it's a thing.
Sean?
Yeah.
I once had a procedure to officially announce my retirement from having children. Okay. That was painful for me. How does somebody having a brain tumor removed, how do they not feel it?
Lots of anesthetic.
So did I just not? Could I have used more anesthetic?
Possibly. It could have also been significantly psychologically based, knowing the patient in question.
So, if I hope this person that had played the saxophone, and of course anyone who has to battle a brain tumor, because I acknowledge the seriousness of all of that kind of surgery, and it's something I would never want to undergo. So should I have, if I ever have to, and I am supposed to do something that makes my neuronal networks more noticeable, am I going to psych myself out to the point where I'm going to feel every single thing that they do?
Possibly. Okay. But it'd usually be worth it. It's usually for situations like this, like he's a musician, they're trying to preserve his ability to play music because that's something that makes his life worth living. you know, it's usually those situations. I can't think of a neurological reason for this, but it'd be like the equivalent of like, Ryan, this tumor is right next to the part of your brain that makes you enjoy sports. Do you want to be fully knocked out and we'll just hope for the best, or do you want to be awake watching sports so we can make sure to preserve that part of your brain?
Well, I was gonna say, would we get me set up with a monitor and a game, and I would broadcast the game? I assume that would make sense.
Something like that.
Okay.
And you're broadcasting all of the Broncos' epic wins.
No, don't do that, because the brain mapping would look different, because I'd just be in an emotional train wreck the whole time. Give me a game I don't care about.
Or they have you watch the heartbreaking losses, and they take parts of that too.
Oh well,
then it doesn't hurt as bad.
Considering one of my coping mechanisms when we have heartbreaking losses is to watch more past heartbreaking losses, so I can dive really deep into the sadness. That probably makes sense. Because to know where we are going, we need to know where we have been. That's my philosophy. No. I thought you had cleared that. KJ says there are some brain surgeries procedures that require a person to stay awake. It's wild. I saw this story on Twitter or Facebook News or something. I was like, wait, what? So this person, and it was a long procedure. This person had to play the saxophone for a very long time. I want to say it was like 6+ hours of playing the saxophone. How's the mouth not get tired? Probably trained musician. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Do you think all the doctors got sick of the saxophone music? Like, what if the twist of this is he wasn't actually a very good saxophonist, and he was just playing like hot cross buns the whole time?
But it's like
he just started playing saxophone a week ago.
It's just like when you first start out too. It's got like those sharp like
lots of squeaks.
Yep. Okay, hit that note. Sorry, let me try again. Nurse, I can't do this anymore. What if I just slipped? Could it be over? No, I'm just kidding. No surgery. Don't do that. Oh crap! I missed. I just completely did not barrel roll in the least there. Down says you have to host GMS while under surgery. Make sure you can still do it at. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Doctor doesn't know that I basically try to give myself a hernia when I say morning gamer at the very beginning of every show. Like, what the hell was that?
Did he just try to roll his R's?
They're like, that was the worst R rolling I've ever heard. Clearly, the surgery is not working. Sean has to be like, no. That's
totally not.
It's the best he can do, literally. Ask him to do his Chewbacca impression. God forbid you make me actually start laughing. Oof. Doctor, I don't think he's gonna make it. His whole face is turning red. Nope. That's
just the background.
The background's blue. What are you talking about? We're in a hospital. Bob likes it, says Downs. I like your good morning party. So do I, but you I have to nearly pull my groin every single morning to do it. So it reminds me of Good Morning Vietnam. Surprisingly enough, that is a movie I have never seen, despite the fact that it involves radio and Robin Williams, which for me is a pretty good combination.
It's a fantastic movie. You know, we talk a lot about movies you should watch. That's really one you should watch. You would love it.
Should we add it to? You're like, no. We should actually.
We should add it to an actual watch.
Oh,
one more.
yeah,
Nice
counts.
work.
Counts.
It didn't give me an assist. I was hopeful.
Oh, can we take it away then? That was useless.
Yeah. Oh, I missed. I thought I got a piece of it.
I can't believe that crossed the goal line, to be honest. I thought I was going to get robbed, like where they bounce right in front.
Get a 4/5 goal.
Yeah, 4/5 goal. All right, there we go. 6:49 West Coast time. It's West Coast time. It's 9:49 on the East Coast. It's 2:49 for those watching GMS in the UK. Thank you for being here. It is the Monday edition. Good morning to Hey, it's Brendan TTV. We appreciate you being here. Today is National Bosses Day, so we're asking you the question, what is a quality that makes an ideal boss for you? We talked about inspiring or being open to going in a direction that's maybe not within the job description, and maybe thinking about like ways that this person could have an impact on the business in a different role that maybe we don't have today. I'm talking about a little more innovation. That was kind of my answer to the question. You said someone who said just basically talks like a real person.
Yeah, someone you can have like a real conversation with.
I agree with that. And then of course somebody who, when they fire you, lets you know.
Yeah, and make sure you don't have to learn it from Wario's 64.
Yeah. We told you about G4 shutting down in the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming News. We'll recap that coming up at 8:50 this morning. When we do the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming Re-News, we have the creators of Whateverland coming your way at 7:25 a.m. Pacific time today, so stick around for that. And again, congratulations to Quinine Gaming for winning the game Whateverland during our September Name of the Month giveaway on Patreon. All right, let's do birthdays. This day in gaming history. If you have a birthday to celebrate, someone you know who's getting a year older, and you want to celebrate along with us, then please let us know so that we can celebrate with you. The 80s one is my favorite one. Hands down.
Pretty good.
All right, let's start with celebrity birthdays. We also have a big list of this day in gaming history, so we'll try to be efficient. Today, actor Michael McKean is 75.
He appeared as lawyer Chuck McGill in Better Call Saul.
Never watched it.
Me neither. Did you watch Breaking Bad?
I watched one half of one episode of Breaking Bad. It's got to be, if I'm gonna do it, which I think I would enjoy, but if I was gonna do it, it has to be like one of those summer ones where it's like, okay, every extra moment I have when like only baseball is going on, I'll try to watch Breaking Bad. I don't think it's gonna happen.
It is very bingeable. Very good show.
George Wendt turned 74 today.
His wife, Bernadette, voiced Norm's wife, Vera, on Cheers.
For context, George Wendt played Norm on Cheers. What was the guy who's in all the Pixar movies? What was his character's name? Cliff.
Cliff, yeah, the mailman.
Yeah. Today, Alan Jackson, 64, the singer.
He once appeared as a performer in an episode of Matlock.
Matlock. It's The Simpsons. There's certain things I remember from The Simpsons, and it's that one older guy going, Matlock. I've never seen an episode of Matlock. I really don't. The only context I have is apparently whoever writes for The Simpsons thinks Matlock's for old people.
I also think it's for old people.
Prop me up by the jukebox when I watch Matlock. It's an Alan Jackson song. Probably. Today, actor Mark Gatiss turns 56.
He appeared in several episodes of Game of Thrones as a representative of the Iron Bank of Bravos.
Bravos. Hello, yes, my name is Ted. I'm a representative from the Iron Bank of Bravos. You've been served a subpoena from, this is probably a scene from Game of Thrones, I imagine. You're expected to reply within 30 days and appear in court on the 20th day of November.
I'll pencil it in on my calendar.
I think you have something on the kind of slide the camera up a little bit there.
Oh, it's like weird. Oh, still going.
Okay. Yeah. Ah! Musician Ziggy Marley turns 54 today.
Ziggy voiced the jellyfish Ernie in Shark Tale. I'm sad we don't get more of these voiced so-and-so in Shark Tale, because Shark Tale had so many celebrities.
Was it a good movie? I've never seen it.
No, it was awful.
No.
It was terrible.
I'm sure it was the worst animated movie ever.
It's in the running for worst Will Smith movie.
I mean, it can't be a worse movie than Ants.
Ants was
That's
really
true.
bad.
It's true. It might actually be better than Ants.
Believe it or not, for me, rapper Eminem turns 50 today.
Oh boy, what are we gonna do with this? Eminem has won an Oscar, an Emmy, and a Grammy.
Oh, this one's easy.
Or actually,
many
it says
wins?
won an Oscar and Emmy, an Oscar, an Emmy, and Grammy awards.
Okay. No, this is easy.
How many wins? Tony's edition. Hit the music.
Quit leaning forward. Stop it. Thank you. No! So I'm gonna go no Tony wins for Eminem.
Yeah, any Tony nomination.
No, I'm gonna go 0.
You know, I'm actually looking this up just in case, because it'd be hilarious.
And the thing is, honestly, if you told me that he has, I would believe it, but I'm gonna guess no.
Yeah, no Tony awards. But he is a Tony away from having an EGOT, so that's pretty awesome.
Debuting on Broadway, Andrew Lloyd Webber and Eminem. It's 8 Mile plus 1. I don't know what it would be called, but it'd be a musical. Today, actress Felicity Jones is 39.
She portrayed Ruth Bader Ginsburg in the film On the Basis of Sex.
I don't like October. There's no drummer birthday again. Phew. It's got me there. Seriously, like, if you want to be a drummer, don't be born in October.
It's like they stopped putting in drummer birthdays just to mess with it.
Oh, could you imagine if, like, we lose one of our bits because they just decide, drummers aren't worth noting?
Yeah, whatever intern puts together the list decided drummers don't need to be in here.
So I was thinking there's an Eminem lyric. I gotta look this up now because I saw another notable birthday. Eminem. Just a sec, give me a sec. Eminem. Spell Ryan. Almost there. Okay. So there is a line in a Eminem song, okay, that references Chris Kirkpatrick, "You can get your ass kicked." Okay. Today, singer Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC is 51. They have the same birthday, and they're almost the exact same age.
Wow. Do you think he knew that when he wrote that lyric?
I don't know. In the context of the song, I don't think that was necessary to know.
Huh. Do you think he knows that now?
Yes.
Can we send him a tweet?
No, we're just gonna email him. Does anyone have Eminem's email address? Please chat. K-Laugh's not working today, so if you have it, let us know. Wyclef Jean turns 53 today as well.
Animator Mike Judge of King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead is 60.
A Bob memorial birthday today, although this person's alive, and so is Bob, but Bob's a Cavs fan. Danny Ferry, former Cavs player and executive, is 56 today.
Bob likes it.
And singer Renee Diff of Aqua is 55.
I'm a Bobby girl. I don't know what accent that was. I'm a Barbie girl of that Aqua.
Yeah.
Huh. I have one random Facebook memory I get every year is I talked about karaokeing Aqua one time many years ago, probably a decade and a half ago. And this person's like, fun fact or fun story, I happened to go to this place and I heard Barbie Girl being played and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I walked around the corner and it was a concert. It was Aqua in concert. It's like, oh. And that always pops up on my feed every year.
That's awesome.
Also, Norm Macdonald had a birthday before he passed away a couple years ago. Stop. Norm Macdonald had a birthday. He's dead now. But I was watching my kids watch a show on Netflix yesterday, and I was like, that's Norm Macdonald's voice. And I had to look it up, and it was in like something called Skylanders Academy or something along those lines. So.
Nice.
All right, Sean, you're going to get sued if you keep showing me all those silly Poppy's Playtime people. Don't like it.
Now it's just for you.
Just save it for... I know, it's a lot of the time it's just for me. Oh, you can't even see it on the widescreen. No one's going to believe me. What's going to believe me? The year was 1977, Sean. Lawsuit or not a lawsuit?
We haven't had one in a while. 77's a little early, though. Let's go not a lawsuit.
Bob plays a didgeridoo. Your answer's locked in. I just saw something move on my PlayStation screen, and I thought it was that thing now. Atari introduces the Atari video computer system in North America. Codename during development was Stella. Price of $199 with one cartridge, Kombat, 2 joysticks, 2 paddles. Extra game cartridges cost $20 each. Remember when video games were $20? Although probably in inflationary terms, that was probably the same price. Anyway, Street Racer was available. Air, Sea, Battle, Surround, Blackjack, Basic Math, Indy 500, Video Olympics, and Starship.
Nice.
1991, Sean. Lawsuit or not a lawsuit?
Not a lawsuit.
Not a lawsuit, you say. The year was 1991. U.S. Judge Sweet approved settlement of 50 state attorney generals in District of Columbia versus Nintendo. Nintendo must mail $5 discount coupons on next NES game to purchasers of NES systems between June 1st, 1988 and December 31st, 1990.
Incorrect.
It was a settlement of a lawsuit, so.
Wonder if I ever get my $5 discount coupon.
I thought the exact same thing. I think I bought ours between, well, it was given to me between that time.
See, I knew we were due for a lawsuit.
Yeah, no, I thought you had it when you guessed 1977 is too early, but I thought you'd guess it on 91, so.
Nope.
Sorry. 1997, Midway put out Mortal Kombat 4, version 2.1 to arcades. 2001, Microsoft announces the Xbox video game system would go on sale in Europe. On March 14th, it would sell for €479. 2001, Capcom releases the Devil May Cry video game for PlayStation 2. 2005, Namco, before it met Bandai, releases Mario Kart Arcade GP in US and UK. The game was developed with Nintendo. Players can choose among 11 characters: Mario, Luigi, Wario, Donkey Kong, Bowser, Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, and Blinky. 24 courses over 6 worlds can be played with 57 choices of weapons. Wait, so there was a Mario Kart version that got launched in the arcades and it featured Pac-Man?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Really?
If I can find a picture.
2005, Blitz, The League, came out for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. That same year, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, was out for Nintendo DS. The following year, Rockstar put out The Bully, just Bully, video game for PlayStation 2. Also 2006, THQ put out Destroy All Humans 2 for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. In 2010, Nintendo releases Kirby's Epic Yarn for Nintendo Wii. And in 2017, Sony puts out Gran Turismo Sport. That was out for PlayStation 4. we'll keep searching. We'll take a break. We'll come back, see if we can find you stuff. We'll also throw it in our Discord. Good morning to Scott Chick. It's good to see you. Good morning to Last Checkpoint. It's good to see you as well. Dungeon Master KJ keeps saying, what is the pink thing behind Sean?
What pink thing?
Wouldn't we all like to know what that thing is? Hard pass. Down said Tony is the easy one to get and tells us we can reach out to Marshall Mathers at Marshall at, and then couldn't put the rest in there because of Automon. So. All right, we'll come back with more. It's the Monday edition, October 17th, 2022. This is Gaming Morning Show. We'll talk about whatever lands next hour and sports on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv.
Coming up on Gaming Morning Show. Today's interview and sports. Find GMS on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and GamingMorningshow.tv. And follow us on Twitter at WatchGMS. All ahead on Gaming Morning Show. Time for hour number 2 right now.
Morning, gamer. Welcome in. It's Gaming Morning Show. Thank you so much for being here. Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at GamingMorningshow.tv. Hefty Goof and Sean this morning, thanks for being along. In about 15 minutes from now, we'll talk to the creators of Whateverland. It was our September name of the month. We appreciate you being along for the ride today. Sports coming up at 7:50. We'll talk about the football weekend, see what's ahead. GMS Sports is our Tuesday night show coming up this, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to try to play one of the F1 games, either F1 Manager or F1 2022. It just depends on, honestly, what arrives from GameFly today or tomorrow.
Nice.
Do you have either of those already yourself?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I have a game plan for us, but we'll do something F1 related coming up tomorrow because the U.S. race that's in Austin is coming up this next weekend. So we wanted to play something that's Formula One related. And then I think next week it's going to be GMS Super GMS Bros-in-Law, which is a co-op game. We're going to try to find a way to play Gotham Knights, which is going to be very hard to do, but we'll figure it out. That's our goal, at least. Subject to change, see store for details and all that stuff. So excited for GMS Tuesday nights, though. This is the 3rd episode. Last week we played GMS Fudge, and then the week before it was the debut. Oh yeah, GMS Game Night, which was a lot of fun. We played the Game of Life, but the Element of One, VG did try, and hey, it's Brendan, TTV. By the way, Element did tell us today there is a drummer birthday. Should we?
Sure.
Yeah, because it's been way too long.
We've got a drummer birthday.
Kind of feels good now that I think about it.
Yeah, feels really good. Today is the birthday of Derek Plord. He was an American drummer, born in California. Played the drums. Was part of Fat Wreck Chords label.
Is it spelled WRECKORDS? Rec Chords?
Yeah. The band Lagwagon. Finally found the band. That was harder to find on his Wikipedia than it probably should have been.
By the way, whenever Derek asked somebody from the band to do something, they would all look at him and go, "Yes, my plord."
Nice.
That was too easy. Too easy. All right, coming up, we'll tell you a story. It's about, we go from open, awake brain surgery to a bakery Star Wars inspired Pan Solo sculptures. They've had some others apparently that have been pretty okay as well, including Pandalorian.
Nice.
Celebrate Mandalorian stuff. So yeah, we'll talk about that coming up around 7:40 this morning. It's Black Poetry Day, National Edge Day, National Mulligan Day, National Pasta Day, and National Clean Your Virtual Desktop. So KJ has been asking, what is that pink thing that keeps floating behind Sean's scene? And it turns out Sean had some Poppy's Playtime characters ready to go for GMS Fudge last week, but now that that's over, and they are definitely not needed anymore, you're working on getting those in your recycle bin.
Yeah, as today is the day to clean them up.
So the good news is we'll never see them again. Hopefully. All right, today is National Bosses Day. We're asking, what's an ideal boss for you? We're trying to figure out, maybe your favorite boss you've ever had, or maybe a quality that you've never found in a boss. That's something we're asking you today. Just a sec, excuse me, I gotta sneeze. I don't like that one any better. No. Scare the kids. I'm definitely not afraid. But think about the kids, Sean.
Indeed.
Terrifying. That was a good sneeze. Down says no boss is the best boss. I had wondered about that, if we were going to get folks who just would ideally not have a boss whatsoever. And so I think that is a good answer to that question. I was trying to think, because my answer was someone who is very interested in, like, helping, you know, us pursue things that maybe we've never done before as an organization. And so part of that is why I enjoy being able to pursue certain things without having to get approval, because that's a really hard thing to do sometimes. Is say, yeah, sure, we'll take a chance on that. Just let me know how much of a budget you need. We'll give it a shot. First conversation, right?
Sounds tough.
Go in there. It's like, hey, yeah, I just need, like, you know, $20,000 in about 6 months. What do you say? Huh? What do you say? What do you think? No? National Bosses Day, also known as National Boss Day, or Bosses Day, recognizes the hardworking boss overseeing the workplace, writes nationaldaycalendar.com. Employees across the United States show appreciation and thankfulness to their bosses. They remember their boss's kindness and fairness throughout the year, too. If the 16th of October falls on the weekend, then this day is celebrated on the closest working day. Many leaders carry heavy loads. They oversee many employees and guide their careers too. While their position holds them responsible for a department, business, or organization and leading to its success, their list of responsibilities is multifaceted. Some bosses have bosses themselves. Depending on the size of an organization, those bosses also answer to someone else. In fact, everyone has a boss of some kind. If your boss is the owner, they still answer to the tax man, the customers, and their merchants. Keeping a business running smoothly with outstanding employees requires balance. These bosses know how to put their best employees forward and lead with confidence. That's I just read that. That's from nationaldaycalendar.com. Good morning to Lady K. It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by on National Bosses Day. Says, my new boss is strict. Oh, well, it doesn't seem like Lady K is too fond of Lady K's boss.
Nice work.
KJ says, a good boss is a leader that is willing to listen, brainstorm, and solve problems collaboratively with their subordinates, supporting them, building a safe place to bring problems to their attention.
Yeah, don't bully the safe place. Bully the safe place.
By the way, today, on this day in gaming history, the game Bully came out.
Never played Bully.
It was not a game. It was not a game of Woolly Bully. I don't think I know what that song's about.
I definitely don't know what that song's about.
Caleb! What's the song Woolly Bully about? I'm surprised I didn't get a demolition there. I hit that person very, very hard. Oh my gosh.
Nice try.
Yeah, I thought I had that. Oh, Lady K is Lady K's own boss, so making fun of herself. Okay, that makes more sense. Not somebody else, but Lady K. Well, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here on. Well, happy National Bosses Day to you then, if that's the case. Yeah, we told you a story in the first hour of a person who had surgery. It was for a very difficult brain tumor. Nice. And had to be had to stay awake for the way that the like brain is mapping or something. It was helping them get information on this tumor or the person's brain, and played the saxophone for a 9-hour surgery. I kind of think I think you're kind of spot on. I bet the surgeons were kind of tired of hearing the saxophone by that point.
Hopefully he was really good.
How are the acoustics in the OR?
Probably pretty echoey.
Yeah. I'd have to imagine you get quite a bit of reverb there that would make that experience probably even less enjoyable than it wouldn't ordinarily be. Some Careless Whisper on repeat. Why do I keep thinking of Careless Whisper as the saxophone song? Like, I know that, like, I'm not even giving enough credit to, like, Kenny G by going saxophone song, Careless Whisper. Of course. Man, we've had that as a string today. We get a big lead, and then no one wants to play the game with us anymore.
We're just so good.
So good. Well,
maybe you should get some saves. Maybe today's the day.
Well, absolutely. We don't have a different plan for the final hour crew, so we'll try Achievement Hunter again and get me my 3. This is the day. It's a new week, and that's important. Lady K, all brain surgery has to be done with the patient conscious, doesn't it? Is that true?
No, not all brain surgery.
Okay. Oof. But much. Is it more than I would have expected?
Probably.
Okay.
Because it's more than 0%.
Seriously, why would you not want to be knocked out? But it makes sense. The story talked about, they need to map certain things and keep eye on certain functions. Good morning to King Gray, by the way. It's good to see you in chat today.
Nice chat!
Wooly Bully is about a sheep that would terrorize the small animals on the farm, but by then and learns the error of its ways, realizing the actions were more about its own insecurities than anything else. Is that true?
I don't know, read a couple of messages after that.
I guess. I don't know that song you're talking. Okay. Thank you, Downs. All right, stick around. We talk to the creators of Whateverland next Gaming Morning Show. Morning Show continues. Thank you for being here. It is the Monday edition of the show, and we are thankful to have Philipp on, the creators of Whateverland, which was our GMS name of the month for the month of September. Our Patreon subscriber, Quiet I'm Gaming, was the one who won it. We welcome in Philipp to the show. Good morning, Philipp. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you.
This is exciting, a chance to talk to you about Whateverland. It's a game that Sean and I are going to try to play at some point, whether it's on Gaming Morning Show or something else related to GMS. I guess let's start with the storyline of this game. Kind of where'd you find the story for this game?
Well, I'm not quite sure. It just came to us. The story of Whateverland is about Vincent. He's a thief who's trying to steal some fancy necklace from an old woman, and this old woman happened to be a witch. So she sent him to Whateverland, and that's the game.
Nice, and the game has some non-linear elements to it that can lead to different outcomes. How did you guys come about that, and tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, so our first game, which was called The Great Perhaps, was a very linear adventure. And when we released that, we thought to ourselves that linear adventures doesn't work well in the age of streaming and YouTube videos and stuff. So we decided that we would like to make something very non-linear with a big variety option for the player, so that each of the players could have their own little adventure in this weird world.
And so how does that kind of, manifests itself in terms of, my brain went to things like, I don't know if you remember choose your own adventure books, right? You'd choose a scenario and it's like, go to page 52. And so then you would go to page 52 or whatever. Is it similar to that mentality?
In a way, yeah. So our non-linear thing works this way. So at first, you have this opportunity to play either as a thief and like steal and deceive from people, or you can play as a good person and help people around and get the thing you need by helping others. And also, we have a very wide branching dialogue system, so you are actually able to speak differently with different characters. You can establish different relationship with the same characters that you meet. And also, the one more thing about that is that almost from the very beginning, right after the prologue of the game, you are free to go wherever you want. So there are several chapters in the game, but there are no particular order in how you should approach those chapters. So you are totally free to choose your chapter, and even more than that, right in the middle of the chapter, if you feel stuck or bored, you can also switch to another chapter almost at any time in the game. So we gave to players a huge opportunity to be free in order to choose where will you go and what will you do.
I want to ask about the difficulties of launching a game, because the reason you're with us today is we picked it based on just the name alone. We liked Whateverland as a name, and it's during the time when it's coming out, right? And thanks to Kalaf for posting links to Steam. What do you find is some of the most challenging aspects when it comes to launching a game, whether it was Whateverland or any other game you've been involved with?
Well, it is always difficult to let people know that your game even exists. So yeah, and there are a lot of different approaches and ways on how to do that. And I'm not quite sure if we did a good job on some of them, but still, if I'm here, it kind of worked in a way.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time. We're excited that we had a chance to give it out. We will also include it with our bigger Name of the Month collection that'll come out sometime closer to January to the general audience. But Philipp, thank you so much for taking the time to introduce us to Whateverland, and we appreciate you coming on Gaming Morning Show today.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Absolutely. That is Philipp from the makers of Whateverland, and we'll include the links for you to find the game and check it out on our chat. So that was a lot of fun. Pretty exciting to hear the non-linear element. I think, Sean, is one aspect of that interview that really stood out to me.
Especially the fact that you can kind of go wherever you want and start wherever you want, or like you said, if you're running into roadblocks for some reason, one section, you could just go to another one. I think that's great, especially in a point and click adventure type game where sometimes you do just run into situations where like I have no idea what I'm doing right now. And so to be able to walk away from that and go somewhere else for